What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Monday Mayhem Warriors. Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter with the Mad Mike of Beacon, New York.
Hey, Sorg.
Maddeth Mike of the Beacon. Yes.
Sorg,
what do you got
guess
there?
who I am.
What do you got there?
Guess who I am.
Your Bray Wyatt last night on fire.
Yeah!
Is that a Lego fire I'm looking at here?
It's Lego fire.
Okay.
It's like I'm burning alive. Definitely not a mannequin.
Already, we have a Bray Wyatt Yule log.
Yep.
Video that we found. I dropped that in the group because actually Rob, cameraman Rob we were in Slack talking about that, and he was like there needs to be one of these. And I'm like, oh, there already is. Son of a bitch. I was gonna do one, and it's a lot better than I would have done. But it's okay. We have a lot of editing happening tonight. I'm not showing Mike because I want him to be surprised on what we've done with this. But there's a lot of stuff on Christmas tomorrow. There will be singing. There will be a face-to-face encounter with Mad Mike and Jacob Edwins.
I still call into question whether or not he's going to show.
Yeah, you don't know. We don't. I mean, he says we made the poster. There's a fight poster. Should I put,
he also says he's a professor and has never shown a degree.
Should I have put on the bottom of the poster podcast subject to change?
Always, Sorg. That's like the second rule. Rule 1 is always bring your gear. Rule 2 is card subject to change.
You know what? I'm curious. As somebody who has not ever been behind the scenes at a professional wrestling show, Mike, what are the cardinal rules of an independent professional wrestling show?
Always bring your gear. Say hi to everyone. Shake hands. Be respectful, and don't shit in the communal locker room.
Yeah, that's right, Tito Satana.
That's what I'm assuming anyway. I've never been backstage at a wrestling show. These are the rules that if I were to be backstage at a wrestling show, I would follow.
Okay.
However, the shaking hands thing might be different with COVID. Maybe like an elbow bump or like the subtle head nod.
Yeah, it's been fist bumps and elbows, and every once in a while somebody's like, "Nah, man, I'm cool." So it's you know what, this has happened multiple times, either at a show or in other business situations. Like, I'm literally just putting my hands in my pockets so I don't instinctively go to shake somebody's hand. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I feel like it feels wrong, but it feels so good.
So you're Orange Cassidying around the place.
Everybody just Orange Cassidy. Be like Orange Cassidy. How is that not a PSA? I don't know.
Yeah, seriously, AEW's dropping the ball on that.
Amongst other things, I'm sure. But
we won't get into that.
Anyways, yes. Oh
no, Tina, the word of the night is not pay. I'm sorry.
Pay?
Yeah, that's what Lacey Evans called Peyton Royce.
Oh no.
No.
So the only joy I got tonight.
Ooh, wow. That's usually my line.
was when Drew McIntyre was eating cookies.
Fair.
And I think Sheamus was giving him, I just caught like a glimpse of it, but I'm pretty much Sheamus was giving him shit about his diet.
Mm-hmm.
So
the only joy I got tonight was Sudden Playground.
Okay, yes.
Sudden Playground.
I'm like,
okay, all right. I get it. We're in the holiday season. We're not going to get an update on Bray Wyatt until the new year.
No.
I get it. I understand. Unless, oh God, Sorg, you know me. I don't ask for much.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Except for sensible booking and just a little bit, and to not break up the Iconics.
Sorg, yes, and they failed at one of those things. Actually, both of those things at times. Sorg, here's what I want for. I know we're probably going to do this tomorrow night. I will reiterate my Christmas wish then, but I'm saying it now. All I want for Christmas from WWE is for Raw in 2 weeks when we have the Legends Coronavirus Showcase. I just want the end of the night, whatever legends are in the ring or on the stage, I don't care where they are. I don't care how many they are. I honestly don't care who they are. I want the lights to go out. I want the Fiend to have murdered all of them.
Kind of like the Randy Orton in the card game.
No. I don't want Sam Fisher. I just want because they're all old men.
Yes.
They can't take bumps. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them all bruised, broken, and bleeding.
Okay.
That's it. Tell Ric Flair he has to do a gig. He'll love it. He hasn't had the blade in like 35 minutes, so he'll love that shit. Like, I just want it. I want the return of the Fiend to be like taking Randy Orton's moniker of the Legend Killer by killing all of the legends at that Raw. That's what I want. Because if Randy tries to destroy the Fiend will try to destroy Randy Orton.
So since we've already started with arson and somebody being lit on fire and left in the ring to end the show.
Mm-hmm. By the way, no charges filed.
No charges filed. No charges pending in Tampa right now. We're just gonna go full on. Screw it. People getting killed off this show.
Mm-hmm.
We're just having it. Okay.
Why not? Why not? Look, because like Randy Orton fashioned himself a Legend Killer, right? All he did was really kick people in the head and maybe give an RKO or two here or there. If the Fiend actually murders legends, like he's already made John Cena disappear.
So I've had this thought. For pondering last night's show.
Mm-hmm. Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I've been watching a lot of anime too. So I think about in the 2000s how we went from ECW and hardcore and things just kept escalating and escalating and escalating, and we said, when will it end?
Mm-hmm.
Now what do we do? Also, I loved, G-Raver sharing clips of him lighting somebody on fire on the indie wrestling level.
But G-Raver's not the first to do it either.
It's not the first. No. I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying this is something that happened. I'm not like giving him cred that they
yeah,
stole
I know.
a
But I think
idea.
he's trying to take cred.
I mean, it's fine to say, hey, it looks familiar. We said the same thing with Raw Underground and Fight Underground, as if they're paying any attention to this project we're working on. But it's like, so what is next? Like, you lit a person on fire, and now
someone got shot at a wedding. So
that's Impact Wrestling. It's Nashville. That happens every other weekend.
That's fair. Well, to be fair, it happens in Florida every other weekend.
That is true. Apparently, arson laws are very loose down there, as we found out.
Amongst other things, so I've heard.
Okay. Well, anyways, as you mentioned, in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, the legends will get killed at the
Legends Coronavirus Showcase
at the Tampa local bus from the old folks home tour.
No, Sorg, we have to call it the Legends Coronavirus Showcase.
No, I'm saying that because they booked everybody that lives in Tampa probably. I got questions, by the way. They're playing that promo, and I'm watching. I'm like, okay, Beth Phoenix, Hulk Hogan, yeah, okay, Ric Flair, this person, and there was somebody they showed, and I'm trying to figure out who the fuck they were. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Was it Tatanka?
Was it Tatanka? He had like he had like black stuff over his eyes.
I think it was.
Is that Tatanka?
I'm pretty sure that was Tatanka.
I am not familiar with this Tatanka. And also, why would you show that version of Tatanka?
I don't know. I legit don't know.
What are we doing? Is that the version of Tatanka is going to come up? Is that the money?
Sorg, what if the Fiend comes back as the embodiment of the coronavirus?
Hasn't it kind of been already? Don't try to burn it out, by the way. That's not going to work. The cure is worse than the disease, if you will.
He already tried the chlorine from the swamp water. That didn't work. Now we're going to see if fire kills it.
Kill it with fire!
Kill it with fire!
With fire! Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Harley Quinn lately and Clayface. Between Clayface and Aquaman. That was the Aquaman episode. Everybody is grand. And also I edited something with a lot of grand gestures just a few hours ago. Find out what that is tomorrow on the show. But
I'm so excited.
This fucking holiday special is going to kill me or be amazing or both. I don't know.
Speaking of not being able to top yourself.
We had Christmas cookies tonight.
All right. Can we talk about that street fight?
What's wrong with the street fight?
That was the most boring holiday themed street fight.
No, it was a fine.
The only thing that popped me was Samoa Joe saying "lot of sap."
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
Yeah, he said a lot of sap. I'm like, God bless you, Samoa Joe. Like, it sucks you can't wrestle right now, but God damn it, I'm glad you're on commentary.
Oh, he's great. He's great. You know, I give a lot of props to Corey Graves coming on commentary and being like a little nice flavor of that old school, I want to say like a Bobby Heenan style heel guy on there. But man, Samoa Joe is my next one. By the way,
Sorg, the only other thing I want for Christmas is, now this has happened in the past before and we've hated it. But if we have a Royal Rumble and at number 30 no one comes out, and then all we hear is, "Well, gentlemen," and Samoa Joe puts down his headset, takes off his suit and tie, and enters the Rumble at 30 and wins to go against Roman Reigns. That's the ending I want. That's the ending I want.
Never do it, but man,
it's never gonna happen.
Man,
that's the ending I want.
I love Joe, and I think I between his injuries and everything, I don't think he has enough WWE cred for them to put in that spot, unfortunately. So
imagine that though. Like,
I know that'd be so great.
Commentary to Royal Rumble winner.
I've been flipping.
Fantastic.
I've been flipping through that Impact Plus app and the Twitch channel and everything, and I keep seeing these Samoa Joe Kurt Angle matches, and I remember how great it was. Man,
Sorg, I have one question for you though. Have you watched a lot of Stone Cold Shark Boy? Because that's what you should be watching.
Apparently, I'm missing out. That's right. I guess I should be watching that.
You should be watching the
Let me see.
Oh Christ! What was that stupid street fight called? Oh, they had a stupid street fight name. Hold on.
Shark Boy Street Fight. Like search for that or something. Or
that's what I'm doing.
If I type Stone Cold, well, that doesn't bring anybody up. If I type Shark Boy. Oh man, the search is not great.
Fish Market Street Fight, Sorg.
Fish Market Street Fight. Give me a show.
It's on YouTube.
Oh wow!
Oh, sorry, we're not doing assignments this week, but I'm just gonna watch this.
Welcome to the rest of the show as we live watch the Fish Market Street Fight.
The Fish Market, because it was Stone Cold Shark Boy and Curry Man against Team 3D.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, Yeah.
I love, by the way, I don't have a side on this. I am loving the trolling that's happening between AEW to Impact Wrestling. I like Curryman.
AEW is just taking jokes that I've done for years.
Well, you know what? At least they're taking the good material, right? Their Curryman was trending one night for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hardcore and I love it and at least like they can get their digs in and be like, listen, I get the sense that Impact Wrestling knows exactly what Impact Wrestling is. Okay? And I don't envy the position they've been in the last couple of years to build up to and being something that anybody wants to pay attention to, which I think they have successfully done in the last couple of years, despite you not being able to see it for being blocked. We're working on that, Mike.
I full support to them. You know,
I
don't want to see any. I'm putting it this way: I don't want to see any wrestlers unemployed.
Yes.
Like I'm happy for everyone over there that's getting work.
Employed.
Except for TJP, he can fuck himself.
Which one?
TJP.
TJP? Oh yeah, he's kind of a dick. But
Yeah, he can fuck himself.
I mean, you know, you're not gonna love everybody in wrestling, you know.
No, I know, but I can sure hate some people. Really
No, it's
hard.
a different world. It's a different world. There's a separation from Ultimate Warrior and Gym Warrior. You know, it's a different. Since everybody's gonna ride it so close, you can't separate that anymore, guys. So, anyways, well, you should be.
Imagine if there was just one company where it was every asshole.
I
like
mean,
you could do it. You could do it.
I mean, that definitely happens on the indie level.
No, I know, but like literally everyone in the company is like suspect of doing terrible, horrible things.
Oh, I can name a couple promotions actually. I would be like, you want you. I'm gonna shut up right now.
Like there's no Drake Maverick in the bunch. There's no like really just good solid dude.
There's no redeemable soul in the bunch in the entire company.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Michael,
none of the commentators, none of the announcers, none of the cameramen, none of the photographers, none of the online crew.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah. Wait, some of these companies have no online crew. That's like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just no. Come on.
The 18-year-old kid that sits in his mom's basement and plays with the fucking web page. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, but we're gonna move on here before I get myself in trouble. Wrestling.
So Raw was terrible.
You know what I watched this morning? You know how like I don't give a fuck I'm watching wrestling I am right now, Mike? How hungry I am for wrestling. Also, I could probably use a sandwich right now. I watched New Japan Wrestling and didn't wait for English commentary this morning.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
I watched an hour of New Japan with Japanese commentary after I woke up this morning.
How was it?
It was fantastic. It was, you go watch Kenta in his element, Suzuki Goon, I think, doing Suzuki Gun things.
It's Goon, but written gun.
I know. I want to say gun, but I think it's Goon. So, I know there's a Yano match coming up in this show, and I think there's another one in the next like 2 days. So, having my coffee and watching, now I know the Matt Carlins experience. Because that's
not all of the Matt Carlins experience. You don't have like, ace bookers running around screaming about how Ricochet's going to win the title off a boat.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no!
Oh no!
We invoked his name. We invoked his name.
Take his name out your mouth.
Whoa! Matt Carlins.
Did you mention me by name?
Yes, I did.
We
okay, I was listening to, as I always do on Monday night, I was dipping in, checking out what you guys were talking about.
Uh-huh.
And I sensed that Sorg was about to talk about all of the wrestles that he's been watching over the past week or so. And I was like, I can't let Sorg do this on his own because I too have been watching all of the wrestles. And so I was like, I got to dive in here. So I missed you invoking my name, but that's fine.
We literally, like, Sorg literally said, "I had the Matt Carlins experience," and then, boo-doo-doo.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what
Like,
exactly
that-
is
like,
the
that was
Carlin
frightening.
experience?
That's like, well, it was, I woke up, had my coffee, and I was watching New Japan for that happened mere hours earlier without English commentary.
You also have to be feeding your children breakfast, getting them dressed and out the door for school while the main event is happening on the New Japan early morning show. That's the full Matt Carlin's experience, but points for being very close.
That's
So,
right. It wasn't
Yeah,
live. I wasn't live.
I told him that Sorg didn't have the full experience until he had an ace booker running around screaming about how Ricochet was going to win the title on a boat or something.
Okay.
I assume that's what's going on in Mason Mania. I haven't
Oh,
I haven't caught up on the updates.
yeah. I've been a little slow on my Mason Mania updates. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. You work on other updates.
Yeah, I've been working on some other updates, but believe me, the fictional wrestling happening in my 11-year-old son's room always tops anything else happening in the world. of
Absolutely.
wrestling, because he has access to everyone. So
So you popped in for the all the wrestles talk, and it was just good because I don't think we're going to get to it because we have definitely overbooked Tuesday night. This is probably going to be a 3-hour show.
This is the Mandalorian season finale of wrestling.
Yeah, no. This is going to be the 3-hour show with 12 matches and everybody else that got in there and drove all the young boys that drove getting a battle royal at the beginning, a kind of setup. So that's kind of what I'm expecting out of this. But anyways, but yeah. So yeah, Matt and I have both been watching everything.
let me ask you a question, Sorg,
Mhm.
because I have an answer for this question. Of all the wrestling promotions you've watched, and you've watched many of them over the last couple weeks,
Mhm.
as have I, which one has stood out to you the most in just grabbing you and kind of being like, "Oh my God, I had no idea this was happening," kind of thing?
Honestly, Ring of Honor.
Mm.
And I don't think it was happening because I think they just hit the crescendo of their kind of rebuild right now. But I have not, definitely not seen enough of Shane Taylor, what he's been doing down there. Just, highlights, to be honest. Like this pure title thing has my attention. It's been so long since I've seen such an amazing Jonathan Gresham match. Which actually, I guess September, because, well, it was a very good match in September, but it wasn't a 45-minute classic or anything. This amazing thing that they did with Flip Gordon on Friday night at a Final Battle. But I gotta say, it probably is Ring of Honor. Secondarily, just Triple H because it's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
just-
crazy. I thought Ring of Honor's. I really enjoyed the Ring of Honor stuff, and I'm really digging just the large assortment of just scary dudes on their roster, just like up and down. Roosh, Shane Taylor, Jay Briscoe, Brody King, just scary dudes you do not want to bump into, in a dark alley anywhere in the world. So they've got that going for them too. The one that's jumped out to me that I wanted to mention, give them props, has been MLW, because I've never really had a chance to properly sample them, and they are wacky, but like the good wacky. The wacky where they are so earnest in their wackiness, they never stop to wink at the camera, something that you get sometimes when AEW gets wacky or some other feds get wacky. They'll always kind of be like, MLW will get wacky, and they will never ever like wink at the camera or anything. It's always dead serious. It's crazy. And there's a lot of wackiness on that show.
And you're getting,
But like I said, it's all presented so seriously that I have to respect it.
I watched my first episode of MLW Fusion this past week. And between the Mil Martis pop up, Laparcas, plural, and
I believe that's Las Parcas.
thank you for that. And also just the general like you probably haven't had a lot of chance to witness Filthy Tom Lawler in action.
No, yeah, Filthy Tom, popping up on MLW, popping up on New Japan Strong. Just, you know, amazing to see, like, how many guys are just crossing over between these, like, mid-tier shows, for lack of a better term. Just like Chris Bay popping up, you know, on both shows. Leo Rush is crossing over everywhere. Leo Rush has got a match on MLW in a week or so. I think. Wait, or am I thinking of somebody else? I might be screwed up. So
Who knows? They're all over the place. But
maybe Leo Rush. Well, it is Leo Rush. Yeah, Leo Rush has got a match on the 6th for MLW, and yeah, it's crazy to see these guys just kind of bouncing around. I'm like, well, someone just lock these guys down. Like, just lock these guys down. They're great.
It's been, you know, and you know, obviously we're, you know, if you guys are on Patreon, you already know we're working on sort of a project. I've dropped a hint here and there on the shows, but you know, on the news side of things, and it really does feel like the more, especially that night when you saw people all over the place and people just kind of transitioning from promotion to promotion. You know, even people you know, you're seeing people everywhere, and even AEW, at least on AEW Dark, or just, you know, even a special spot on Dynamite itself. It really does have that sport feel that these guys are all over the place performing at this point.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool vibe on that at least that performance good match side of things. You know, maybe not everybody's rolling like a good story. Like, if you're just like, I just want to watch wrestling, you know, I don't need to be invested in a week-to-week episodic thing. It's really good time for that kind of wrestling fan. I would say, you know, what would have been classically the Ring of Honor, this is a sport wrestling fan from 10 years ago, right?
And I also kind of like it's fun to get back into the and I'm sure this we'll see more of this as hopefully more shows start to ramp up, you know, around the country. It's kind of seeing like the unsigned guys with the buzz and like getting excited about, you know, certain guys like Blake Christian, who's done some game changer stuff, popped up in New Japan Strong, did the Super J Cup tournament, and got a lot of buzz for himself. So it's fun to watch, you know, the guys who aren't fully out into the mainstream just yet, building that buzz. That's part of the fun of watching these second tier shows, is kind of trying to catch that next wave. And guys like Blake Christian, guys like Chris Bay, who haven't been overexposed, and you're kind of like, okay, this is exciting. How good is this guy going to get, you know, and how fast, and what's next for him. So
it's really filled the hole in my soul for going to indie wrestling shows. Because it's been like, you know, hey, I would normally be looking for the show. Hey, there's a, you know, ROH Honor Club or Impact has a thing this weekend. Let's go watch it. Hey, oh, and there's this. Oh, and there's MLW. Oh, and there's New Japan. And it becomes, you know, you start to get you start to fill that in as everybody's really kind of hitting a ramp up point where they figured out what to do, right? Figured out how to present in empty arenas for the most part. You know, or even just seeing Japan and seeing a mostly kind of full. It was Kurgan Hall they were in last night, right?
Yeah, I think they're in Corkin for these 3 days, and yeah, it's interesting to watch. Yeah, the clap only crowds in Japan are interesting, especially when they get them to the match elevates them to the point where they actually do make noise, and that's, you know, very much earned. It's still kind of difficult. I heard some guys saying that they don't want us to make excuses for, you know, our empty arena shows, and being like, well, if only there had been this, if this had only been in a 10,000 seat arena, then this, you know, random tag match between two teams I'd never heard of would have come off a lot better, and just been like, look, this is the reality for, you know, I think all these wrestlers now. They've got to put it together and put together matches that work for this style now. And you've seen guys and you've seen organizations that are learning to do it better, more quickly than others are learning to do it.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be an interesting, like, thought experiment if we looked at everything from March on, and to try and see how it would have been different if there were crowds.
I don't think you could do that, because you know, as we kind of discussed, I think any of the booking, any of the things that have happened you know, like, I mean, Ring of Honor did a complete reset with everything. They haven't had their
Yeah,
champion.
but I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that just
Right,
plain
but-
wouldn't have happened.
Right, case in point, Ring of Honor hasn't had their champion in 9 months due to being
like,
stuck
Ring
in
of
another
Honor
country.
got totally derailed.
Yeah.
I mean, they had
Who's their
there were
champion?
guys in Ring of Honor like
Roosh.
Roosh and
Yeah.
like Dragon Lee, their TV champ. They were on the show for like 6 months, maybe longer
Yeah,
than
so
that.
was UK.
Sitting
Mhm.
at home.
UK was done for
Yeah.
about 5-6 months too.
Well, and they had a double whammy of coronavirus plus the
Travel restrictions.
No, speaking out took out a good chunk of their
Well, yeah,
roster.
that too.
So
I mean that nuked a lot of the guys out in the UK. So I mean, yeah, it's been like a lot of different issues coming into play, and it's been interesting to watch these, like I said, just different promotions trying to reorganize and get things straight. I think I'm sure it hurt Ring of Honor to do it the way they did, just a flat shutdown and a restart, but it feels good. It felt good to see them restart and kind of ramp up again. And MLW did a similar thing. They shut down, and they've only recently restarted within the last couple months.
Well, and also
compared to WWE and AEW and the like, just kind of dragging their themselves through the worst, the absolute worst of the crisis.
And then New Japan, of course, has started up the American stuff, so that's been a nice addition that may have been pushed forward due to what's going on. There was another one I was going to mention, and it went away. The Pure Championship. I think we talked about this. I think you and I were talking about this, Matt. Like, I don't know if the Pure Rules Championship situation would have rolled out as easily in front of a crowd.
I mean, it all depends on kind of what kind of crowd they're going to get.
Right. For those that don't know, the Pure Rules is John Gresham has the Pure title. They actually started with a tag team match on Friday. I think it was their first Pure Rules tag team match, and it's the idea is you get 3 rope breaks, and there's a marker on there, and then other things can count towards a rope break, including like if you punch with the closed fist, you get a warning, and then it takes away one of your rope breaks. So what happens is, and again, apply somebody like Jonathan Gresham to this, right? You find yourself at a point where you're out of rope breaks. You can't get out of a hole by just breaking it. You have to find another way out. And then also the person applying the hold can now use the ropes because they are now legal in any fashion. So it's a whole other dynamic, and the more talented ones are able to do some really interesting things with this. The tag rules, I think it's in addition to that, it's like if you run in to break up a pin, that counts against one of your rope breaks.
And they do this really. They do an interesting thing with the presentation too. When they do these, they put up like the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen, and it's like you've got like the 3 timeouts. You've got the 3 rope breaks, and they're kind of popping them off as you go along. So I mean, when they're explaining the rules, especially for the tag match, they went through like 3 or 4 full screens of these rules, and I'm sitting there going, this has got a very TNA feel to this right now. But in execution, it worked because, I mean, and just because, not only because of how good the wrestlers were, but, I'll even give props to Riccaboni and Caprice for just the way they handled it. And by the way, the team, the announce team for ROH, there are bigger announcing teams for other organizations out there, but Riccaboni, Caprice, and Quinn McKay, that trio right there, I don't know. Maybe I gotta just double check and do some homework on this, but I'm right. Like, find me a better trio than that. Play-by-play, color, backstage, anywhere right now. I don't know if there's another one out there, but
especially when I tune into NWA and the new NWA show, and it's like, this is the most annoying backstage, girl that I think you could find, and she's not there for her interviewing talents, which is like so many promotions. But looking at UW,
you want to talk about like just someone who just got killed by everything, the pandemic and whatnot. NWA. I mean, I know they had already hit the skids a couple times but they at least still had a pulse before
Yeah.
the pandemic, and they are just dragging.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll have something in the start of the new year. But
That's what the word is right now. Looks like they're recycling old Primetime Live, and that's the same guy that was doing pro wrestling from Hollywood. But you know, I think there are plans for a full NWA show, but I'm just glad there's something happening there. So you know, we'll see where that goes. Surprised to see Effie on the show last week, and then like I messaged him and tagged him, and he's like that's a surprise. They didn't call me back, so. But that was kind of fun. But again, it's like seeing Hill pop up. It's kind of a fun thing right now. So, and at least fill in until you know something locally happens that fills my fills my attention, I guess, in wrestling. So, but in the meantime, it's tape study, right?
yeah, I mean, and I just want to like, Mad Mike, how are you feeling? What's bringing you joy in wrestling right now? Anything? Are you feeling joy?
I don't know. It's honestly really, it's tough because like it's a lot of it. Like I love a lot of the wrestlers, but the wrestlers that I love are just doing awful things.
They're not in good
Just,
situations.
No, like I can't think of a single wrestler that I just enjoy the shit out of. There's one, Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, like, saving grace of NXT. I'm looking forward to a very Gargano Christmas.
Yes.
I don't know what that entails. I'm excited to see it. I assume there's going to be a Mandalorian reference.
I mean, they absolutely did like slap "This Is the Way" on their Titantron on last Wednesday, right? For the Garganos coming up.
All right, they've been doing that for a bit, but it's the Johnny Gargano way,
and they're just
exactly,
and they are they are referring to it simply as the way a lot too.
I know.
Yeah, and you know what? I hadn't pieced that together until you literally just said it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes all the sense in the world.
I mean, for
Like,
Gargano,
honestly,
it makes all the sense. Yeah.
Like honestly, if Candace is the Grogu to his Mandalorian, I don't know. Like,
We'll see if they roll in the jetpacks for one of these takeovers, and we'll know.
The only thing that sucks about it now is Austin Theory's there, and he can go fuck himself.
Well,
Like it's like every time they give me something, they add something in it that I don't like. It's like Congress. It's like.
I mean, we used to watch NXT.
It's like, yeah, we're getting money, but guess what? It's also gonna have this fucking going out attached to it.
I mean, we used to watch NXT, and this is years and years ago. This is like midweek war days, Mike. And we would watch, like, we saw some folks coming out who were not done cooking. They just pulled out of the oven too soon. But we watched Dana Brooke develop into something that was not quite ready into someone who was kind of ready.
With 4 different names.
Yeah, that was used to be part of the fun of NXT. So it's nice to see them rolling it over because there hasn't been enough turnover in NXT. It's either someone who already knows what they're doing, who they've brought in, you know, the hottest free agent in professional wrestling who they've brought in, or, you know, it's the established core who are either afraid or never going to be called up to the main roster. So in that sense, I'm hopeful that, you know, Austin Theory will be someone interesting to watch develop over time because he's a guy who needs, you know, still a little bit of development.
I did have a realization about Damien Priest though. I had a realization about him. I'm like, there's something about his promos that intrigues me but also enrages me because the voice doesn't fit the physical being that I see in front of me. I finally figured it out. Have you guys seen the movie Triple X?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He is literally playing Triple X without the stunts. Like, his voice cadence is exactly the same as Vin Diesel.
Okay.
He looks somewhat similar to Vin Diesel.
Whoa.
Vin Diesel in the Triple X movie would just randomly get surrounded by a woman on each shoulder. That is Damien Priest's go-to move.
Mhm.
Like, seriously, the next time you watch a Damien Priest promo, pop in Triple X right after that, and then you will see they're the same. It's the same promo. It's the exact same thing. Like, I'm waiting for the moment where Samuel Jackson comes in and says, "You're going to be a super agent now." But no, he's still just doing the welcome to the Xander zone. Like that.
I mean, maybe that'll be his main roster gimmick. Maybe he's just holding that back, so he has something to pitch for Vince. Vince, I can be. Have you ever seen Triple X? I mean, I'm sure Vince hasn't seen.
You know
it.
that guy? You know that guy in the
Vince will
movie?
be like, "We're not doing porn. I don't care what USA Network says."
You know that guy that's in the movies with The Rock? I could be that guy.
God damn it, pal!
But like that, his cadence is exactly Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit for me to realize that, and I'm like, yeah, it's right.
I like
there.
how this is like the greatest worst thing to you at the same time.
Like, I want to because I enjoy that movie Triple X,
Yeah.
but the beginning of that movie is fucking awful,
Mhm.
and we're still in the beginning of that movie for Damien Priest.
See, I've just taken Damien Priest as being the rocker. He's a rock star guy. He reminds me. God, he actually reminds me of the guy from Head PE a lot, actually. Because he's like, dude in the hot tub with the girls, and wearing the pleather pants and the metal T-shirts.
you're
Wait, I just described
Triple
Triple H, didn't I? Or Triple X. Triple
You're
H.
describing Triple X.
Yes.
You're literally describing 2/3 of the movie of Triple
Okay.
X.
All right. Makes
But
sense.
all right, one thing that is bringing me just pure, unadulterated joy in wrestling is up, down, down.
That does not count.
Yeah. Oh shit, it doesn't. Absolutely, it does. There were more better booked feuds on Battle of the Brands
Mhm.
this year than there were on actual WWE programming.
Everything is wrestling. So
And the up, down, down versus left, right feud is, I will say this, the hottest feud in professional wrestling. The hottest. and also, Adam Cole, he's
Baby.
very good at his job on NXT. Because if you just saw him on up, down, down and did not know him from anything else, he's the biggest fucking dork.
Mhm.
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 And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. He seems like the best person in the world. But when you
Confirmed.
see him on NXT, he's such a douchebag.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, even when the era are trying to be faces, he's still such a douchebag. And I'm like, you, sir, are very good at your job.
I loved early on when he had just gotten signed and he moved down there with Britt Baker, her tweeting about how he's setting up his game room, and I'm like, oh, okay, this all makes sense.
Yeah. But like, because if you look at the other main guys on there, Tyler Breeze, pretty much the same guy you see on NXT.
Mhm.
Woods, Kofi, Biggie, pretty much the same guys you see on WWE. Cesaro, they've never given him a character in WWE, so it's a blank slate.
Yes.
He's hilarious on up, down, down.
Yes, he is.
They've never
God.
sometimes he will give winks and shout outs to the up, down, down crew in his promos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when he does get to talk, if he ever says a lot of respect for that, that's an up, down, down thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's an up, down, down thing, because whenever they play Uno, if someone hits you with a draw 4, you have to challenge them. But once you challenge that person, you get a lot of respect. Like, there are things that Cesaro does on up, down, down that I'm like, how is this man not a multiple-time world champion?
Is that why
Adam
I
Cole
feel like
is so vastly different? And not only that, Cole, Cesaro, Breeze, and Woods have alternate up, down, down characters. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this.
Yes.
Adam Cole will occasionally come on as his roommate Ronald, who is well-meaning but dim-witted. It's fantastic. Cesaro will come on as Big Tony, who is Italian mobster mafioso.
So wait, so you have the big Swiss guy being
Yep.
an Italian mobster mafioso.
Yes, and you have to say his name like Big Tony, like Big Tony. Like it's like one word, but it's two words. Breeze, because he wasn't being used on NXT yet, because Breezango hadn't returned, he came up with Breeze as Exotic, and just did a Joe Exotic character. And Xavier Woods, because he wants to be King of the Ring, came up with the Kang with like 5 A's. and honestly, that's what's brought me the most joy in wrestling. Like every Wednesday, I'm excited because it's Uno Day, and they play for an hour to an hour and a half, and it's just joyous.
I almost bought Uno the other day, but I wasn't sure if it was the right platform, Mike. Almost.
I have it on the Switch.
Among Us may have to make a public viewing at some point, because that Riz is an asshole.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Riz is an asshole.
I think, Sorg, I think we should, like, if we decide at one point after the first hour mark that Raw is just not going to satiate us wrestling wise, we should just start playing Among Us.
I mean, just that little test run we did the other night, just the lying, the blatant lying and deceit that was going down. It's just like and the fact that it sometimes worked, I know I felt cornered on several occasions, and just I was like, what would Paul Heyman do if he was caught on camera, full face, conspiring with the Shield, and he had to answer to Vince McMahon in front of a live audience? You lie, you just lie, and it's just it sometimes works. It's amazing.
And Alex Cars tried to play 2 accounts at once.
Yeah, he trying to big brain us, right?
They were like, the Brohemoth's not in this game. I didn't give the link to anybody.
More like Sussemoth.
Yeah.
Tina says she's down. She would need a crash course, though. Tina, we're all just literally learning how to play.
You
wouldn't need a crash course.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The game is a crash course.
Yeah. The game is very simple.
You would learn it through osmosis.
Yeah.
It would just that shared knowledge would just be transferred directly to you without any conversation.
If anybody out there is interested, I believe it is free on Android and iOS. It is a mere $5 on PC platforms, including Steam and everything. Switch
and the Switch, it's also $5.
And the Switch, if you have an Xbox Game Pass with the PC edition, Among Us is on the PC included with that, and coming to Xbox. Yes.
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox next year.
Yes, very in the next couple months, I believe. Yep. So, yes, so download it on your phone. You'll get the idea. You'll just play around with it.
And if you do, please feel free to email us at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. We can set you up in our Discord.
Wait, yes. That might be a Patreon feature. I don't know.
Oh, God, yeah.
You want a Patreon night on Among Us? That could happen.
Sure, absolutely. Patreon night for anything. Absolutely.
Matt, we should have a special Among Us game for an advantage in Mayhem Mania.
Oh, it's soon. Oh, that's coming.
It's truly random because you don't know who the imposter is going to be.
I can't wait for the stipulations of Mayhem Mania now that such a thing as cinematic matches exist.
I mean, I'm kind of curious. Like, are we going to talk about like Randy Orton setting the Fiend on fire?
We did earlier. That was the first part of the show.
Raw barely talked about it. I would assume if there was murder happening on your pay-per-view, you don't open the show with "Get out of here, Charlotte."
Yeah,
Did you guys ever, like, at any point between the end of the pay-per-view last night and Raw starting today, did you entertain the thought that this was a write-off of The Fiend? Like,
Yeah.
that was it?
Yes.
No, not even close.
For a moment.
Yeah.
No.
A little bit.
No. How many times has The Undertaker been burned alive?
I mean, I understand that, but
Been a few
this was a different level, and it was also a completely out-of-the-blue stipulation that came out, like, over the weekend, and it just struck me as, like, this is odd. Something is amiss here. Maybe they just felt like they had to get him off. I don't understand.
No,
Why
Matt.
do you light a whole body on fire?
You know
For
what
fun,
it is?
you know?
Oh, buddy.
They didn't want to put the effort into writing a Firefly Funhouse Christmas special.
Those sons of bitches. Sons
That's
of
what it is.
bitches.
You don't think Bray had already workshopped that whole thing in his brain already?
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
I assume it
I'm
runs
sure he had it.
24/7. I
I'm
assume.
No,
Now,
instead,
that would be great.
let's make a swing set appear in the ring.
I did like that.
Yeah.
It had "Moment of Bliss" written on it too.
Did too.
Like that's her new set.
Mm.
But all right, so if you guys could do a Firefly Funhouse Christmas special, like I'm doing a Christmas Carol, where it's the 3 versions of Bray Wyatt visit the Funhouse.
Can they just
Like
visit Randy Orton?
Like,
Can they just-
no, like
You're gonna like Husky Harris,
that's the Ghost of Christmas Past.
and then
The Ghost of Christmas Present is Funhouse Bray.
Funhouse Bray.
And the Ghost of Christmas Future is the Fiend, and instead of like, let's say it's Rambling Rabbit, instead of Rambling Rabbit like waking up and be like, oh man, I really got work on myself, he's like, let him in. Oh no, you can have Alexa do it. You can have Alexa be Scrooge, and she's visited by 3 versions of Bray Wyatt.
Mm, I still think
Okay.
Randy's Scrooge.
Yeah, but no, Randy can't do that.
No.
He doesn't have yet. Have you seen his acting? He'll go to the papers if he has to, but he won't go to the funhouse.
12 rounds 2, baby. Well, on that note, I'm running out of
Yeah, Charlotte.
we're running out of tape here in the studio, and got 12 minutes left on this card. So, with that, big Christmas episode tomorrow. Chris LaRusso, who has a liquor show now. By the way, have you seen this?
A liquor show?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's tasting whiskey on the internet.
Huh.
Yeah,
You didn't ask me. All right.
By the way, can we call him Christmas LaRusso?
Christmas LaRusso tomorrow on the show, and Tatiana Rose. I don't have a pun for her.
Hey, all I got to say about Tatiana Rose, send your favorite Christmas song requests in now. Make her sing, because I got to tell you, she's a shoot singer, and she can legit, carry a tune. So, I mean, I think we should just make her sing
She sings all the Christmas songs from now on.
all the Christmas songs.
Hey, baby. Yep. Other surprises and guests and gifts for some of our Mayhemers, including gifts. At least
With a T.
what gift? Yeah, gift.
Yeah.
Gift. And why? Okay, have at least one gift. I don't know. It'll be the gift of Merry Mayhem either way, guys. Mainstream, and I'll throw this out at the end of the show. If you want to see something we're working on, go to justprowrestlingnews.com in its beta form right now. We'll probably do a couple more episodes before the holidays, and then we're gonna officially launch at the beginning of the year, right, Matt?
Yep, we got to figure out what our holiday week is going to look like here, Sorg. But so far, so good. And I'm looking forward to unleashing this on the unsuspecting internet wrestling community. So
Yes.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Some people have become suspecting, but other than that,
Suspecting that they'll wake up informed every morning is what they should be suspecting.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Do you want your wrestling news in 5 minutes or less with no pop-ups? We may
Boy,
have that for
do
you.
I.
And there's the commercial.
There you go.
There you go. We'll just clip that. Clip that. Mainstream Matt on the Twitter is 1T.
That's right.
And Mad Mike 483 on the Twitters.
Yeah, I'm gonna make one more recommendation. If you have HBO Max, watch yourself some Stargirl.
Yo, Stargirl. I watched that next episode, by the way.
I just finished it.
Yo, they I don't want to give it away. Spoiler alert. The Sportsmaster?
Yeah.
I'm like, that guy from the Batman animated series?
Hey,
What?
hey. All respect to my Young Justice heads out there. You know who you are.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
All
You're right.
respect to my Young Justice heads
Dude, I
out
gotta
there.
rewatch the entire Young Justice. It's been so long.
I'm also in the middle of rewatching that.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
Matt, you gotta sit your kids down to watch some Young Justice. Oh,
I mean,
That's a
I'll
good
see what I
show.
can do. I mean,
Don't
that's
let
a
them,
good show.
Don't-
Matt, and the writing in that is very, very good.
don't watch Titans with them.
No, Titans is not for
Don't.
kids.
Not
The
for
Young
kids.
Justice is perfect. It hits the sweet spot of really good writing, really good animation, really good voice acting.
Yes.
Cool.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you again for the Christmas episode, and we'll have a special episode, at least of the Tuesday show, next week. I don't know if we'll have this show. Well, it depends how we're feeling for the holidays, if we're all full of cookies or not. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.